Now let's use a table for data analysis. I'll double click in a cell and start to write my formula. Equal sign, GP. I'll choose GPT table from the menu. I get a parentheses. I'll add a quotation mark. And now I'll write my prompt. My prompt is parentheses, quotation mark, population and GDP of every country in North America in 2023, period, quotation mark, parentheses. GDP is gross domestic product, and I chose 2023 because GPT is not always up to date with data, with current data, so I choose 2023 to go back a couple years. And now I'll press enter. And I've got a table with the country, population, and GDP, and the table is organized by population. So the United States, the most populous country, is at the top, and Dominica, maybe that's the Dominican Republic, with the smallest population, is down at the bottom. Now I want to double click on my formula row and add to my formula. So I added add column showing GDP per capita. I press enter. And now I've got 4 columns: country, population, GDP, and GDP per capita. And I want to add one more piece of information to my prompt, so I'll double click on my prompt row. So I added this to my prompt: sort by GDP per capita in descending order. So that means the country with the biggest GDP per capita will be at the top, and the country with the smallest GDP per capita will be at the bottom. So I press enter. Now I've got everything I want in this table, but I want to make those cosmetic fixes that I demonstrated in video number 3. So we'll skip ahead to the point where I've made those fixes. So I centered and bolded the column headings. In fact, I centered all of the data. I didn't have to do any text wrapping because there's not a lot of text in the cells, but I did spread out the columns a little bit. So as we look at this, we can see that, not surprisingly, United States has the highest GDP per capita, and second comes Canada, but then number 3 is the Bahamas. And the Bahamas has a population of just over 400,000 people, but they have the 3rd highest GDP per capita in North America. So there are a number of revelations we could get from looking at this data in this format. One more thing about this table, I had to go into my cutoff limit in the settings and raise the cutoff limit to 1,000 tokens. It was 600 tokens before. I raised it to 1,000 because initially when I tried to make this table, once I got to the part where I wanted to add GDP per capita, the results were truncated and I didn't get the entire output that I wanted. So in this particular table, I needed a larger number of tokens, or at least more than 600 tokens.